Let me see here. Let me get some things pulled up and rearranged. And I think Kay just got home. Hey, just started. Don't even have everything arranged yet. I love you. Door should be unlocked. Alright. Let me get switched over. I'm a little behind today because I was making myself a fancy coffee. Alright, I'm in. I've got this pulled up over on the side. In the event that anyone chimes in over in chat, which, given our history thus far, will be no, for the most part, and that's fine. Alright, let me clear some things out for us to make sure things try to run without a giddy up. We are. Let's pull this up. Let's pull up. All right. There we are. Still have our photo for inspiration right up there. We've got the Michael Scott Paper Company. Really, Ryan's one of my least favorite characters. Honestly, don't even like Pam that much, if we're going to be really truthful. But it's hard not to love Michael Gary Scott. Even with all of his issues. Let's make sure the hot glue gun is off over here. And it is. So what are we looking at initially? I don't know exactly what's caused it lately. Maybe because I've been reading through American Gods again. But I've been really interested into looking into roadside attractions. Crazy things. Maybe it's because I can't travel and I want to feel like I am traveling. And the fact that I've never stopped at one, but I'm growing increasingly interested in trying to plan out some sort of future trip in which I try to hit up a lot of roadside attractions, or me and Kay will hit up a lot of roadside attractions. That sounds pretty fun. This is one I found called the Hammer Museum. It's pretty fitting for me. I like to make things, even though I really don't use all that many hammers, but I love tools. And it is literally, it's just a museum of hammers up in Haines, Alaska. It is. So that'd be one long road trip. Near impossible, maybe. But it's really neat. You can support them here. You can go explore. Let's look at hammer highlights. Oh, wow. Yeah, these are some beautiful hammers. Look at that. Ooh, dental hammers. That disgusts me to no end. But it's also very exciting. Dulcimer hammers, so instruments. Bleeding over into the world of music. Go ahead and try to tell me that's not a beautiful hammer. Well, gosh. It has some bad history. It looks like. We'd have to read it. The Winter Fund, or Winter Hilfswerk, was an annual charity drive organized by the Nazi Party. Not great. These donations were not necessary. So this little depiction of like nice design has kind of a horrendous history. A very horrendous history. Let's call a spade a spade. It's disgusting. we can still appreciate the artistry of the form without supporting their ridiculous notions. Look at this. Home Improvement. Remember that show? Tim Allen? Pretty good. Alright, fun. hammermuseum.org. Check it out. And let's get into some drawing. I'm actually going to pop over here to a little comic that I made yesterday. Check that out over at daloftisart.com. And I want to copy my little 4-panel layer because I like the proportions of what's going on. I'm going to paste these over here. So that's all I wanted from that. It's a little 4-panel comic. I want to get back more into making comics. I'm going to just take the opacity down on that so it fades away a little bit. I want to get back into making comics a little bit because I've got a project that I have been the reason for the delay for far too long with me and my best buddy, that I really feel guilty about the fact that it's taken as long as it has. But when we first initially had the idea for this series of stories called Campfire Tales, we were still in Tullahoma. And that was before grad school, and then grad school is obviously a thing, and then, you know, it got wild. But I've been working in the background on some character sketches, some environment sketches for that. And so practicing these little 4-panel comics are just good practice for our actual little issues that we'll create and generate later. So let's see. We've got 4 panels. What do we want to talk about today? Let's talk about this little latte I made. That's what we'll do for our 4-panel. I usually don't go in for a lot of fancy coffees. Usually I'm a black coffee kind of individual. But while I've been in quarantine, I figured, what the heck? Why not? Why not make myself some fancy coffees? So, this is one. Let's do kind of a keep some simulacra of balance. I don't even know if that's a word. So this is water at 207 Fahrenheit, and then 2 tablespoons, or let's do this. Water at 207 Fahrenheit, warm mug. 1. This will be what it says. 1 heaping AeroPress scoop and inverted method. 155 degrees Fahrenheit froth with French press. Top with a little brown sugar. Okay, there's the 4 steps of this latte I've been making. It's very good. So now let's just illustrate. Let's illustrate the steps. What we have right now is pretty bland because we just have kind of where we want the word bubbles to go. And we need the actions. And maybe these even shouldn't be word bubbles. Maybe they should just be simple graphics like this. They actually definitely should be. So that's easy enough to fix. Let's knock the opacity down on that layer. I still have it to where I can see it. I'm going to put them all cattywampus up in the corners. So when I'm doing comics, I don't like the whole cookie cutter thing. I don't want everything to be perfect. Like these lines back here, I use the method on this iPad of where if you draw and hold, you can actually like snap a line to where it keeps it straight and consistent. You can even, if I put another finger down, you see where it's moving like in these increments and it's not as smooth. You can really get something that is technically very precise, but I would prefer this method of this cattywampus looser type deal. These are a little too buck-walled, but we're gonna leave them. Now I'm gonna take that back layer away. We're gonna sketch on top of this. All right. See what we can do. Talked about warming the mug, so we need to draw a mug. We need to draw a little kettle. I'll draw the little electric kettle that we have. It looks something like this. All of a sudden I can't remember if it actually has a handle, but it definitely has to. It has a little flip switch there. And it's a little hot pot base. Pull this over. Right? Simple enough so far. What was the next step? AeroPress inverted method, which I used. Let's draw it over here. Goes up like this, and then maybe I don't like such a static view of the AeroPress because it's not exactly the most exciting shape in the world. Yeah, let's do that one again. Get rid of it. The AeroPress is kind of hexagonal up here, I think. Hope you're good. Hope things are going all right. We're doing all right here. A little bit tired of all this, like I imagine everyone is. Oops. Right. How long do I leave it in there for? I think at 4 minutes. Maybe I'll put a little side note. Don't know what I'm doing there. Why does it keep cutting them in half? Let's keep moving them too soon. All right. And then, what was this next step? Oh, it was the milk. Let's just make believe this isn't on a stove top and it's just on like a little single eye burner. go. Make it look like some steam is going on. Whoop. That's the milk. There we go. A big wild handle. You know what? I don't think this little sketch cartoonish thing of me needs to be included. So let's grab it and let's... No, what do I want to do? I want to grab it. I'm going to say copy and paste so I still have it because it's not a bad sketch, but I'm going to remove it and knock it away. And I'm going to draw... instead the little scoop, coffee ground scoop from the AeroPress. Because that makes more sense to have here. That thing, and then maybe we can put the paddle, the mixing paddle over here. So this is a little bit more visually interesting, maybe. Press. There you go. AeroPress setup. I don't like those little stink lines. Alright. So there's the general overall sketches, but it's honestly, to me, pretty boring. Let's flip this horizontally. I like the way that's all wonky. Whoops. Pretty boring. How do we spice it up? Proportionally, this bag of brown sugar should be pretty big. We will push it into the background with shading because it's not the most important thing, right? So it can still be a part of the composition without dominating. You see how we've got this mug up front. So if we put a little bit more of a bold sketch around it, it's already coming to the forefront some more. And the more information that we keep adding on this cup, the more dominant it will become. We don't just want it to get muddied out. So let's also give that sugar some flat shade so it recedes it backwards. Let's go back in. No, I'm doing is just going back and hatching in. I would like to not overdo this because I always overdo it. At least I feel like I do. It's still pretty boring. Let's add text. There's actually a style in here that's Jack Armstrong Classic. How do you make a degree symbol on an iPad? Is that even possible? Let's just say 207 Fahrenheit. Warm mug. I think I definitely said warm hug earlier. Water at 207 Fahrenheit. Warm mug. Add text. 1 heaping scoop in inverted arrow press method, steep 4 minutes. Alright, I'm already noticing some problems. I'm going to have to rearrange some words. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and let's edit this. I like the placement of that. Let's make the warm mug. Have to get closer in. Alright? So let's just say one heaping scoop. Oh, I need that layer. One heaping scoop. And in let's get rid of that. One heaping scoop. Inverted arrow. Inverted arrow press method. Here we're gonna have to move them around too. which is no problem. Top, oops. See, I'm just comparing the size of the text again. Top with a little, and that would pretty much fit, but since everything's close together, we should make those closer so there's some consistency. Alright. Oh wait, what happened? Stream is gone. Are we back? Oh no. I don't know if we're back or not. I'm gonna wait.